Hello, everyone. This is Scratch and Jack, your host for the Amazing Scale Modeler Sunday Hangout. I'm your. I already introduced myself. Okay, Amazing Scale Modeler is a Google Plus and a Facebook community of scale modelers of all shapes and sizes, interests, genres, and skill levels. So you know what? This is our old script. Why don't I get rid of it? I'm so not prepared today. Anyway, sorry, kids. This will take no time at all. I should get rid of that old script. I don't like the old scripts. So here we are, just staring at each other. Always these technical issues with me, isn't it? How am I supposed to run anything anymore? Okay, it's coming up. It's coming up. That's why I said it was weird, because I was introducing myself and it didn't seem right. So, okay, yeah, I'm your host, Scratch and Jack. Amazing Scale Modelers is a Google Plus and a Facebook community of modelers influencing across all scale modeling genres, mediums, and to inspire friendships from around the world. And today in this Hangout, you will find it to be an important source of information about the hobby and see firsthand the skill modeling experience. Joining me today are the usual suspects to help me kill time in these matters. A live chat on the Amazing Scale Modelers YouTube channel. And I'm sure there's a few people there already ready to chat away. So bring your questions, comments, and criticisms. Of course, with the criticisms, we'll just laugh at you. But we're certainly, we will welcome them nonetheless, because after all, that's the kind of people we are. We like to flog ourselves when we're not on the air. Isn't that right, guys? We're speaking my first meeting they were saying a little too much when we say something like that. But anyhow, some announcements to make the community. Of course, we have community builds, just like all the other communities on Facebook and or Google+. The Batman build is still ongoing until the August 31st. And also, we thought we'd put a time limit on that, too. Of course, we also have the Stunt and Speed build. Vehicles typically will be vehicles that broke some sort of speed record or stunt for the first time. They don't have to be necessarily race cars. I think Bob Busking, he did a Messerschmitt jet, actually a World War II jet that was considered one of the fastest jets or aircraft in the World War II theater in Europe. And also we have the custom muscle and street build. I should make these a little simpler to remember. And these are cars that you'd see at neighborhood fairs, car shows. You know, the ones that make your, lower your blood pressure but increase your pulse. That's almost like you know what. So anyway, yeah, I mean, if you even want to do a scratch build, sure. These two are mostly out of the box. So that's also about August 31st. And when we start our new season of the community, as well as the Hangouts, I'll be asking people, I'll figure out how to get those pictures to us so that we can possibly do like a slideshow video of all the efforts being made by our community. And the big daddy of all, and may the force be with you in doing this one, the Star Wars build. This is something that's not quite asking simply out of the box. Make it a diorama, add extra parts to it, like resin parts or photo etch, or even modifications. Like I lost a couple of parts just today. I'll show you what part I had to modify to complete it because the carpet muncher took it. Carpet monster. I'm sorry. And anyhow, moving on. Let's say hi to my Google left to right is going to be Jim. How you doing, Jim?
Oh, I'm doing fine there, Jack. Yeah, from yesterday, I was getting some more work done. Actually, trying to figure out an assembly on the first one of the landing legs for my Falcon 9 spacecraft that I'm working on. And it's been interesting because I've got pictures of the completed one and the part, but no real instructions as to actually how it goes together. So I've been doing experimentation with one. So I figure if I wreck one, then I can always reprint it. But without getting full blown into all of the pieces, we'll get one one sorted out first of all. And let's just see here. Doing. Let's get up. Images. Now we get screen share. Application window. And some of this is the same because I have so far finished putting all the assembling all these hinges for the bombs for the legs and getting them installed.
Oh. Nice. Look at all those little parts.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah, when you
Louise.
take in mind that this is a centimeter grid mat, so
Okay, that's centimeter.
yeah.
Oh well, I don't want to brag, but my parts are smaller.
That's not really a brag there, Jack. Didn't take long for it to go to the gutter, did it?
Yeah.
Hey, you know.
This is one of the hinges fully assembled.
One of these days, James is going to hold up a paper straw and say, "This was made out of 417 parts," and we're going to believe him.
Yeah. I got another one of those straws.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that model that you're building. That thing is sweet.
Yeah,
I'll do
it's nice.
something.
I'm really happy with it so far. And something to look out if you're interested after the broadcast. There'll probably be the rebroadcast on, but there's another SpaceX launch this evening. So
Really?
Is that the third one in 2 weeks?
Yep.
Wow.
They're trying to get down to a. Their aim is for a 2-hour turnaround.
Wow.
They're aiming at.
Safely do it, but you know.
Is that what they're trying to prove? Is the old business adage, "Time is money"?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not for ego's sake; it's for money's sake.
Yeah. Cost. And that's especially on something like they're planning in the future for multiple launches for the same project.
Booster.
So, no, but multiple boosters, but multiple launches to get all the parts up for a build. Whatever they're setting up, whether multiple satellites or sections for a space station or whatever, but they're trying to get this short turnaround so they can get multiple launches on for more so that they can send more payload up.
Well, I would think though that would make sense if they got, let's just pick a number, 4 boosters to send 4 parts up.
Yeah.
If it was a synchronous launch, they could get all 4 to orbit at the same time, at the same altitude, and so on. But if you're doing it one launch at a time, you got to wait, wouldn't you, until another window opens, a launch window opens?
Yeah, but depends. Some of the launch windows are, depending on where it's going, some of them could be 4 or 5 hours window. So if you can get a launch in 2 hours, get another rocket set up on the pad and launched within that window space, then you can get maybe 2 rockets or maybe 3 rockets up in that launch window.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. They're synchronous, like 4 rockets at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a daring thing for them to try next. Have they tried that yet?
They've they haven't tried. This is the closest they get to multiple launches so far. They haven't tried a launch in the same day from 2 sites yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, this is the leg I'm working on right now.
It's always good to know about your build like this, you know. lie. That's why I do science fiction. I don't have to know anything. I could be stupid.
But it was fun figuring out this puzzle of this leg. But it's coming along.
Yeah, it is. It is. Wow. Wow, that is really cool. Very cool. The only time I learned anything was when I recently did the Spirit of St. Louis. I read about that plane for the stunt and speed. That was actually good. But yeah, you're my source for SpaceX, even though the source I could use the internet for. It's just more fun listening to someone with passion about it, you know. It wasn't something sterile from the internet, but yeah, that looks pretty good. I didn't think it was going to be this lengthy of a build, but I'm thinking it's a lengthy of a build because of the weather, right?
Yeah, I've been slow. Plus, it's summer. I've got other things I got to get out and do, so my actual bench time has really slowed down from like when it was in the cooler weather. So
yeah. Well, that's understandable. That certainly is understandable. I'm going to do a surprise here and break with a little bit of tradition. I'm going to go from my Google right to left right now and say hello to Wayne. How you doing, Wayne?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Yep. Hello, Wayne.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Long time no see. I've been catching up. So, on my bench in a minute is, like you said, a tank, but that one's going to be a bit hit and miss because I'm going to do some scratch building on that fella when they get around to getting the parts and using the soldering iron and visiting the Burns ward afterwards. Yeah. Yeah.
I like how you've got it planned out ahead.
Every eventuality covered.
Yeah. So this is the guy I'm working on at present. It's the hang on, let me get some light on the situation. I am working on the E100 super heavy tank.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
I've had to order that from China.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get it in this country, and it'll take the same amount of time.
Is that a paper tank or was that a real tank?
Actually, he did build some of the chassis for it. The British and Americans captured some at the factory, and they took them back for valuation, and then they found out they were too heavy and too resource hungry, so they scrapped them. But I got so that's what I'm working on at the minute. But I have not been idle on the purchasing front. So I went to Tank Fest last Sunday.
Oh,
Very nice.
So I found a couple of these. So this one's for your interiors, and this one is just for general weathering and how to. And in this one, it's got a nice Star Wars reference one. So I make the Scout Walker.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I may copy that if this Comic Con comes to Skegness. I picked up another book.
Oh, nice.
Tank book. Yeah.
Yeah, and this was actually signed by the former curator of the Tank Museum, David Fletcher. He does tank talks, and the still does a bit with the museum and everything. Right.
Wow.
Right, to my purchases now.
Wow.
Purchases is like that. So
do it again. We didn't.
Yeah, picture froze when you did that.
Okay.
Yeah, hold it there. Your processor there. Your processor just caught up. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Jeez Louise.
Good grief. You got more tanks there than the British Army, hasn't I?
Yeah.
Should keep you busy for the next week.
Oh, no, that's going to be work, I'm afraid. So it's getting towards that time of year where the kids break up for 6 weeks, and I end up having a nervous breakdown by the 8th.
Oh, why?
What? Oh, they have the fun, I have the stress. It's a fair trade-off. So I have to go. I got the Dragons 135th Fulsham Jaeger.
Yeah.
Division. I've had to order them from China as well because they're difficult to get hold of in this country. Some of this stuff is hard to get hold of in Britain for some reason. I got another what if. I got the I got the Stug version of the E100.
100. Yeah.
I am
so
certainly not into tanks, but you're making me jealous right now.
Yeah. I got the T26 Super Pershing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. If you want to go and get a drink, I would not be. I got the grill 30.5 centimeter gross mortar.
Neat.
Oh man.
That's a new release as well. From
Yeah, I didn't think there was a kit of that yet. That's cool.
Amusing Hobbies do some of the same stuff.
Okay.
But the tracks, if you want to if you want to drive yourself insane with the tracks, you can do, because the Amusing Hobbies do like the pin tracks, but the 135th, so the tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Challenger 1 Mark III.
Wow.
The M60A2 Starship. That's the one that fired the anti-tank missiles. Only. The Chieftain Mark V.
Chieftain Mark V, yeah.
Yeah. The M10 American Tank Destroyer.
Yeah, it only destroys American tanks.
Yeah. I'm hoping to do the British version of the Achilles. That's resolved with the 17-pounder.
Yeah.
Anti-tank gun. I got a German half track with some SS figures. I'm going to try and do add more figurines to my model builds as well. The IS-2 Russian heavy tank. And the American M1 Abrams Tusker. That's my purchases for the past 2 months.
Well, I have a question for you.
Just a few months away.
So what are you going to build next week? I mean, that's not enough. You got to get more models so you got something to do next week.
I know. I don't know. Until I don't know what I'm doing next week. I don't know what my hours are now next week. So I know what I'm doing this week. I'm just going to continue building stuff until I get finished off. It's the building. It's the building of the model. It's building of the model kits. It's okay. It's just the painting, because you need to do. You need like time to paint with the airbrush and everything. So that's the only drawback I have. It's I can build the model kits okay. It's just I've got to paint and weather the model kits.
Well, John on the live chat asks, did you win the lottery or something?
No, I actually started saving my saving up in March for a tank fest. I saved my pennies.
You saved your pennies. How can you? You got all those kits that you bought. I mean, you buy them on sale. I know what it is. You buy it in bulk.
Oh no, no. What I do is I go to Tank Fest on the Sunday when the store holders are more happy to get rid of some of the stock.
Yeah, that's the best time to buy stuff at conventions and stuff is on Sunday when they don't want to have to pack it up and take it back to the store with them.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true too. To lighten their stock up and get some money out of it to balance their books a little better. That's true. That's true.
But there's no harm in shopping around.
Did you drive a private car to these places, or?
Oh no, I use the train.
You use a whole car of a train?
No, I actually the museum is about half an hour, 45-minute walk, so I had to carry all them about.
I can just see it right now. You know those women in Nepal that have, or no, South America, or I don't know where, and they got these backpacks on that's like 2 stories high. It's almost like a Dr. Seuss type of thing. I could imagine you just stacked up like that. I don't know.
Needs to take a shopping cart with him.
Shopping cart.
Mm-hmm. No, actually, I used one of these bags, which the reusable bags.
Maybe I'm just over guessing how big they are. I guess it's sort of like what they say that if you're in front of a camera, it puts on 25 pounds. Maybe that's how we're seeing the boxes. They're putting on 25 pounds each. So how long is that going to last you, if I may be so bold to ask?
Well, August is going to be a tough one to get round to the model building, but it's probably till next year now.
Okay.
I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to rush them.
Oh well, you're British, not Russian.
No. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a prime pun for Randall. How you doing, Randall?
Yeah.
Not too bad, Jack.
That was a prime pun for you.
I feel sorry for Randall now. He's got to follow me.
Yeah. How did I follow that? I haven't bought anything for the last month.
Yeah, but Randall's married though, so he's going to be searched every time he comes in.
Oh yeah. Big
he's got as many models.
You know the way airports have these metal detecting devices and things like that around. You have to walk through. I got one of those model detector.
It's called
your wife. How do they know when you try to sneak one past them?
Yeah.
Your model detector is your wife.
Honestly, I only just got this down out of the loft. I've had it for years.
Yeah. Then why does it say 2017 on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
was just the time of day it was made. That's not 2017. That's 8:17 p.m.
So anyhow, what's up, Randall?
That's what's
Other
up.
Than, yeah.
I'm supposed to be doing the Star Wars build, as you know, the Millennium Falcon, the fine mold 144, but it's got stalled a wee bit because I was up in the loft up here. You can see the hatch.
Your wife finally did it. Yes, your wife finally did it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and as I do, I got distracted. I got something orange out of the corner of my eye, went over, opened the box, and found this.
Oh, yes.
X1.
Yeah. The Revell 32 scale.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, somehow it came into my mind that it was going to be the 70th anniversary of the formation of the United States Air Force from the United States Army Air Force. And in October, it's going to be the 70th anniversary of Chuck Yeager doing his supersonic flight. So I thought, oh, why didn't I find that before? It could have fitted in nicely with the speed and stunt, or start.
Yeah.
Stunt and speed build. But I can still do it. Even if I take it past the deadline, I'm still going to do it. And not content with that, inside the box was the parts for the Tamiya 72 scale X1. So I'm going to finish up building an X1.5. And the difference with the Tamiya one is it's got this lovely tankage and big huge gap between the rear tank and the rocket, but I can hide that with paint over the clear half. The model was molded in clear plastic, so I have you can actually see the light shining through the tape there.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun little build. I'll be doing the 32 scale as Yeager's supersonic flight, and the smaller one I'll be doing with the white tail and spine of the aircraft's final flight.
Mm-hmm.
I think it also appeared in the John Wayne movie in that color.
Yeah, it did.
Jet pilot,
Might have been jet pilot.
Yeah. Can't have made much of an impression on me. Hard to remember the title, but at least I remember that was in the movie. And that's pretty much it for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, actually, we're going to have a go at adding a bit of extra detail to the console here.
Oh, that's looking good.
I have a few extra brass instrument bezels.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I can. I actually am sensing Liam twitching somewhere.
Oh yeah. So he's lying in bed and he's going. Yeah.
There's a disturbance in the force.
Instrument tackles for the fill in spaces.
Yeah.
That's about it, really. Yeah, that is it this time.
Are you sure? Because you said that already and came up with those photo etches.
Let's see. I'll have a wee look around, see if I can come up with anything else.
What I just want to say earlier is that Wayne is quickly getting as many models as you have there, Randall. But the difference is older and been doing this for 30 years longer than he has. So
Yeah.
yeah, and he's doing it better than I am.
Okay, that's fair enough. Moving forward, how you doing, Phil? We think we'd get everybody in the UK out of the way first.
No. I really should, really. Yeah, okay. Well, since yesterday, I was at, I've actually posted something up. It's the second stage.
Yeah, you did do that, didn't you?
It's up to the Saturn V. I'll find it to screen share it. Bear with me a second. I was just having a look at this and chat amongst yourselves.
Because if you can't, I can. I got it already in the queue to screen share. Do you want me to screen share?
it? No.
How about this?
Let's have a look.
Hmm.
That's the one. That's the one where I took all the yeah, that's the one where I took all of the incorrect ridges off. Further along.
All right, now let me get
And
this.
I also added some extra details. Now you've got it compared to an unaltered one.
Okay, but these are the ridges you sanded off.
So these are the ones I've added.
You added these?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. After yesterday's across the pond, and I can't remember who it was, but someone said, "Good luck with that."
That would have been me.
Challenge accepted.
That looks like it's been molded on. That's like from the factory. That's how good it looks. That's astonishing.
That is actually a whole load of these.
Yeah.
Section. I think they're 20,000 square section, cut to length, and you can see there's some thinner ones there as well. But yeah, say the spacing isn't exactly even, but yeah, I had a fun few hours.
Do you have that? There's a device out there, almost looks like a paper cutter, but highly miniaturized to chop pieces of styrene like this. Do you have one of those?
No, you see that bit of masking tape just to the right.
Oh yeah.
That's a coffee stirrer stuck down with masking tape.
Yeah.
And then I masking taped a few of them together, and I just push them in and just cut them using the scalpel.
Jack's talking about.
One of those.
It's called a chopper. That's
chopper.
what they are. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love one of those.
I need to get myself.
I'll probably end up losing fingers.
I have definitely saw the end of mine off a couple of times with it, but
Wow, that is really good.
Yeah, and it was one of those.
Oops.
I'd see if I could,
Oops.
and apparently I could.
Okay, I just lost the picture, but that's okay. That's okay. We got the idea.
But I now have to just bear with me. I just want to bring this up. Okay, it's decided to have a good think about things. That's not helpful. Right, okay. That one. Sure. Do all them.
oh wow.
Man.
That's what's left of my original. And is actually refurbishing my original Saturn V, which I built as a 12, 13-year-old.
Oh man.
So that really is a vintage kit.
That certainly is, Phil. I have a question for you. Do you know why the paint pattern was used and where it came from?
I do. If you don't,
I do.
yeah.
A little bit of history.
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
I've got an idea, but it's probably wrong.
Okay, what do you think there, Jay?
Certain parts of the Saturn V needed to be kept cooler than other parts, and certain parts needed to be kept warmer, and the black parts would be warmer, and the white parts would reflect the sun and be cooler. That was the main reason. It did make it more visible to TV cameras, but the main reason was heating and cooling.
Yeah,
Stuff
thermal
underneath.
control.
Yeah, what I found out that von Braun also developed the V2 rocket, and there were certain rockets that had the experimental ones. They had these patterns on it very similar on the V2 rockets.
Mm-hmm.
And in a sky, when launched, it would be easier to see the roll of the rocket because that would have been important to see.
Yeah.
And that is why the Redstone and the Saturn V had the painting on it, is so that not just the cameras can pick it up. The cameras were not used for an audience. They were actually used by the scientists that we just got the feed from them, to watch it. But they had to watch carefully a roll of a rocket because it could spin out of control, as they say. And that's how I understand the painting pattern on it. How that explains the Titan for the Titan booster for the Gemini was actually I think a ICBM booster.
So was the Redstone, and so was the Atlas.
Yeah,
And the
everything
Atlas,
else in the Saturn series was based on missile boosters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did know that it was for cameras as well as a roll. That's how I understand it. And in fact, the heating of the tanks inside was somewhat a problem for liquid oxygen.
The Titan boosters had a roll pattern. The only one that didn't have a roll pattern was the Atlas.
Yeah.
Or the Mercury Atlas flights.
Yeah. Yeah. And also found out why they wrapped the LEM in gold foil, as well as the mechanical stage for the Gemini capsule too. It was actually to keep the machinery inside cool. That I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like layered Kapton.
And to keep the tanks that were inside cool, because there was liquid oxygen and heat don't really match.
Yeah, they had liquid oxygen, hydrogen, helium in the lunar module. Hydrazine and something else. So
yeah, there was a lot of that stuff.
Nasty stuff. I mean, they had the I think it's called hyperbolic fuel in the the top section of the lunar module. Basically, it was two chemicals that will burn when you put them together. So all they had to do was open the pumps to get the engine to fire. They didn't want to have to rely on igniters or anything like that, because they wanted the simplest engine possible to get them off of the moon and back up.
Yeah, right. The engine on the service module used the same hyperbolic fuels.
I think you're right. Yeah. It was a simple engine, but the fuel unfortunately corroded the engines as well, so they couldn't test them. If they tested them on Earth, then they had to rebuild them before they could launch them. So they went up without being 100% sure whether or not they were going to launch.
It'll work right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Titan was launched fuel as well.
Yeah.
But is that what you thought, Phil, between the two, Jay and I? Is that what you were thinking?
Sorry? What about the Titan? Oh, I was thinking more the test pattern, keeping a track on movements. Didn't realise about the thermal control, but that makes sense as well. Yeah, very cool. There you go. Great minds think alike, as George says. So that will be all for you today, Phil? Well, just that I've also making a bit of progress on the Messerschmitt 163 for the stunt and speed build. See, I've posted a little on there, but so I've done mostly the cockpit, made a few adjustments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Are you showing us something?
I'll show you the panel if it comes up.
The 163 used hypergolic fuels as well.
Yeah.
E stuff and T stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nasty stuff.
Yeah, pretty nasty. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah, they had a whole procedure for launching everything. They had 2 fuel trucks. The one would come and launch the P stock, and then when it was done and it was drove out of the way, then the other truck would come with the T stock to load up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't want them anywhere too close to each other.
Yeah.
Wow.
The fumes of that
That's
stuff.
the instrument panels just painted up.
Jeez.
Nice.
That is really freaking awesome. I am in the shadow of the grates right now.
It's like about half an inch across.
Yeah.
That's just
The
about,
only problem
yeah.
is,
Wow. Wow. Yeah, you do. You do very similar to what I do, depending on the part. But a lot of the parts, if I have painting like this, I keep it on a sprue. It's so much easier. So much easier, and I can move it right away, put it somewhere else for it to dry and the like. But yeah, that's really cool. And I gotta say, I when I saw the pictures of the rockets that you did that extra to, I really wasn't making any sense of it. I thought you were showing the progression of sanding it off, not putting it back on.
no, I'd already
That's
sanded
tough.
it all off. Well, I'd sort of cut it off with a very, very sharp blade and then sanded round to
Right.
refine. That's a separate pilot which I've just got him so he'll actually sit nicely in there. So he's ready for painting up.
It could be a ghost pilot.
He was scared by the launch, yeah, because I'm planning on having it in flight, taking off. He was white as a sheet.
Yeah, there were a few of them
Yeah, I've noticed
that sort of blew up on takeoff. But
Yeah.
Mm.
Or even landing.
Some of them caught fire on landing as well.
Yeah, if there was any of the fuel
Yeah.
left in the tanks when they were landing, and it was a particularly landing,
Yeah.
they'd find themselves airborne again, minus the airplane.
yeah,
Yes.
no suspension, just a skid.
Yeah, that
I-
I heard some of the
Piece in at the back there because of the there was a huge space. I'm not sure there's supposed to be a complete space where you can see all the way through. So
I
blanked it
heard
off.
some of the pilots actually got a broken back from the landing because there was no shock absorbers, just a
Yeah.
skid.
Yeah, they just lowered a skid and
It
Those things killed more pilots than they did B-17s.
yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
Oh.
'Cause I think they only had 5 minutes of flight.
Something like that. Once they got to altitude, they had 5 minutes before they ran out of fuel and had to turn around.
Yeah,
they had to be positioned essentially ahead of the bomber stream.
yeah.
So
We're definitely more
it wasn't
pointed.
flight intercept. So
All right. Okay. How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing good. I've been busy with a lot of stuff. I got a new vacuum form, one of these dental ones, that is bigger than the other one that I had. Don't know if you can see it or not. I can't really move it very far, but
Oh, it's got a heater.
yeah, it's got a heater and it's got very powerful vacuum. I can actually pull 1/8 inch thick stuff on there, maybe even thicker. But I've been using it on the spaceship I'm building for the commercial to make the engines. This is vacuum form pieces that I made over the others, and then got to put all the section in the center there and everything, and that they're wired up to light. But I've been working on that, and I picked up another Luna rocket ship. Speaking of going to the moon, Luna rocket ship from Pegasus Hobbies, the Luna from Destination Moon. I bought one. When they came out, and I built it. I built it actually with a partial interior, and it's upstairs. I wanted another one, and I saw it had a good price on it at on I think it was Amazon, so about $10, and so I grabbed it. I was unaware that Pegasus has actually released 2 versions of this kit, and this is the other one that I just got. I didn't notice it said 1/350th scale, so this thing is about 6 inches long. I have a habit lately of buying models, and they end up much tinier than I expected. So
it's called model kit dysmorphia.
It's definitely something. I don't know, but I also been buying a lot of electronic parts, doing a lot of experimentation. Not for modeling necessarily. I'm building a synthesizer, and I've been buying a lot of parts for that as well. So busy doing. Oh, they at my local hobby store had that big Revell Masterclass Star Destroyer.
Oh, the Zvezda one.
Yeah, and I did not pick it up. They had it for 119, and I don't know if that's a good price or not.
That's a really good price.
That's good, yeah.
It was still there when I was there earlier this afternoon, so I don't think anybody's bought it yet. I'll probably tell them to hold on to it for me then, because I was just surprised to see it there. I have not seen any of those Masterclass models in the stores, so I was kind of surprised. But that store is getting pretty good at getting a lot of the they're getting better at getting some of the stuff that is recent and not necessarily American release, like these these Tamiya panel line
accents, yeah,
and stuff. They got a bunch of those in, so I decided I grabbed a couple to see what they're like. And if I'd have noticed on there, it says "Do not use over enamel paint." I'm kind of like, what? You know. But yeah, do not apply over enamel paint. But it says to use enamel thinner if you want to thin it. So I don't know.
You'll have to test it, find it.
Yeah, I'll play around with it. But mainly, I've been scratch building parts. There's a lot of curves on this spacecraft, so that's been fun to try to figure out how I'm going to do them. Other than that, that's about what I've been doing.
Yeah. All right. I just thought I'd stop into the chat, and Ken is talking a lot about some of the kits that he has that he's working on. There was something that he said, an HMS Victory.
Yeah.
I guess it will be a ship. I think more of a ship.
Yeah.
So I had to Google the image, and this is what I come up. Am I good on this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's okay, Ken. We'll be sure to call the men with the white coats, lab coats, and the nets, because it's certainly going to drive me crazy if I had to build something like that. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that. That's what's going on over the chat. He's talking a lot about the what do you call it? The flying sub and the Victory kits, Seaview. A lot of rather large kits and so on.
Yeah.
So this will be very interesting. So also, what do you call it? Mark is also on the chat too, and Mark shared with us why he needed all these extra parts and stuff, because he was building the Republic Star Destroyer. And it's actually a pretty large kit too. So he says it's going to take him a year just to do the bridges section of this kit, because here he's making a comparison of what he's up against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What side do you like better? Wow. Quite a difference.
Yeah. So he's got one side. He's got mostly drilled. And he hasn't done the other half yet.
Yeah. And he's got all those little parts on there. That's what he was looking for. Someone to send him some tank parts. Can you help him out there, Wayne?
I think so, yeah.
But I think a lot of this is what do you call it? Stock, styrene sheets, styrene stock, and whatnot. But quite frankly, it's actually very beautiful as to what he's doing.
Look at the slew of greebles he's added. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
I would have thought the Revell Republic Star Destroyer would not have needed any extras, but after seeing that, it's starting to look very plain. The basic kit part on the right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that certainly is a beautiful sight to see. And Mark's style is he's very detail oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot imagine him not doing this, but certainly this is above and beyond that I'm even used to seeing him do. So kudos, Mark. That's actually very cool. And moving on, how you doing, Dave?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Hey, you got what done?
He said, "How you guys doing?"
Yeah.
Oh.
Do well.
Sorry.
Oh, you got a Galactica?
Oh, nice.
Here, I'll just put two closer.
Hang on.
Oh, that's looking nice.
Which kit is that?
The Mobius.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought it looked a lot better than the old NPC one.
Looked bigger.
If you guys
Her
can see.
hands is referenced. That looks good. Oh, really good.
If you don't mind me saying, it looks like it's the TOS Galactica with the new series color scheme.
Sort of, yeah. Here's the bottom of it.
Wow.
There's some detail.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I put on the Google Plus site, I put a whole bunch of pictures of the actual studio model they used, and it is amazing the number of very identifiable model parts that you can see in it.
Pegasus.
You know.
Yep. That's what I've been doing here.
That's cool.
Oh, really? I guess it is a Sunday night. Everybody's pretty slow, I guess, building stuff. I don't know, it's been hot here. I'm sure it's been hot where you've been.
My Enterprise. Oh, this one. I've been working on.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Oh,
It's like a cross between Voyager and the Enterprise C.
Yep.
yeah. That's a better version of the C if I've ever seen one.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I like that. I like the look of that.
And that's what she looks like.
So I always didn't like the Bassard collectors right up against the same level as the saucer. And the way you have it offset from each other, much like the Voyager is.
Yeah.
And that actually looks much better than what's in canon.
Well, I have the 1400 scale Voyager. She's right.
Right.
There she is right here.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
And here's what's funny about her.
Above. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're the same scale too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're both 1400. And look at that size of that witness cell sitting next to that one.
Wow.
You really got an idea of just how big the Enterprise D was supposed to be. It was really an enormous ship, and
It was huge.
and of course the original plan for it was Roddenberry's original plan was significantly bigger.
Yeah.
He imagined the Enterprise as being kind of like a full city in space, and
Sort of like the size of J.J. Abrams' Enterprise.
and bigger than that even.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I've always liked that. I've always liked the D, and I like the C a lot. But I like what you've done to that. That looks really sweet.
Thanks.
Yeah, come to think of it, that would be not a bad idea to rip it off and do that to my kids, because I really don't like to see the way it is.
Go for it, Jack.
You've done a
Go
much
for
better.
it, Jack. Go for it.
I probably will. So yeah, that's a good job, and I bet it's pretty warm right there where you're at, is it not?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We can have
I don't know. It's better to do modeling in the wintertime, only for the reason is because there's no reason to go outside, and plus it's dark for a long time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So would that be all there, Dave?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, really cool. Well, I posted a picture of my Greeble Hell on the communities. I got there's a lot I'm not showing you because I'm going to be doing a video, but certainly that back end really cool because it looks like a lot of parts, but it really doesn't. It really wasn't. They were just a lot of big parts that I put on there. And you know, on the Falcon, you had the side ports or whatever. I'm sure if I show you, you know what I'm talking about here.
Mhm.
Mm.
This actually had a good number of parts. And here, let's see if I can let's get my camera and show you what I was doing here. Right there, you got. Yeah, right there in the corners. There they are.
Mhm.
Trying to focus. You got the little angle brackets.
Yeah.
Well, I lost one of them. I thought I had all 8 because there's 4 on each side, and I actually had to scratch build it. How do you like my solution here?
Mm.
It worked.
Looks fine.
A little crooked. I'm seeing it's a little crooked.
Well, it's an old ship, Jack. I mean, come on.
Battle damage, Jack. Battle damage.
Yeah.
But that's what I carved out using tweezers and the tip of my hobby knife. But that looks very similar to the actual part there. But so that was one piece that I was able to do. There's another piece on there that I showed. Well, where's Waldo question and. On the back side. I haven't done that yet, but I'll probably get that done at some point. And I got the gun turrets done. I got these done, of course. Next up is going to be the engine burners. That would be this contraption here, doing the individual. I'm just cutting out. I got 4 more yesterday. I didn't cut any more because I want to do a good video of how I do the cutting of that. A lot of people have a lot of questions about how do you cut styrene. It's just a pin vise, a hobby knife, and a gentle touch. And that will certainly open up the windows if you've got windows to do. It's really not that difficult. You just got to develop a feel for the styrene that you're working with. Now, some of like the AMT styrene is a little gummier in a way. This fine mold plastic is a little more rigid, and it carves and shaves a lot better than maybe like an AMT kit. So not all styrene is made the same way. And it's just a matter of having the feel for the styrene you're working with to be able to cut these openings and windows and the like. But I just want to get a nice video and show how I done it. So I'm tinting little LEDs, clear white LEDs with blue clear paint. And one might ask, why don't you use blue LEDs? Well, just because they're blue, and I'm tinting these blue. But the difference is when these are lit, they have a hot white color to them, and the edges of the light is blue. So if you look at any of the movies, you'll see that if you look directly into the burners, if you look into the burners, they're like burning very white, but the edges is a little blue. And the only solution I have for that is not to use the blue LEDs, but to tint clear white ones. So here, to show you how many LEDs we're talking about, my camera is a little sensitive to light, like a vampire. There's a stack of LEDs that I have already done. And here's a stack I got to go still for. And I'm doing basically like 3 at a time because I don't want to spend too much space just hanging these out with clamps. Because, I'm tossing sprues around, model parts around, and I just don't want to disturb them. In fact, they're right here hanging off the edge of my shelf out of the way. And I probably went through about 6 to 9 of them today, and I modeled all day long. So like tonight, I'll set them up, and tomorrow night when I get home from work, I'll just do another set. That's what I've been doing all week. So that's where I'm at on the, and I feel like I'm kind of ahead on this build. I didn't expect it to go as fast as it has. Haven't worked much on it, but boy, when you get into doing these greebles, it's like you can't stop. You can't have one potato chip. You got to have the whole bag.
You get into a flow with it.
What's that?
You kind of get into a flow with it, and you just keep on adding and adding and adding. You don't see the time going by.
Yeah, you don't see the time going by, and yeah, the instructions are so well done that I have been bouncing back and forth. I have not been doing this in the chronological step order that they have here, because I am lighting it. You're not going to build it the same way as you would assemble it if it was a static build. But yeah, I got to examine what I have up against as far as a cockpit goes, because I do have the photo etch for that. And I think I need to get some fiber optic. I need 0.25 millimeter fiber optic for it too, as well, I believe. I'm not sure. I have to look at what I'm doing first to really judge what I need. But I think I might be, if the decals that come with the photo etch, this is Paragraphics. If the decal lines up with the holes in the photo etch, all I'd have to do is just decal the photo etch. Of course, I got to prime it first so the decal sticks, but yeah.
Jack.
What's that?
I'm gonna get off now. I'm going to sleep now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's getting a little dark over there. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, Wayne.
Yeah. Good night. Good morning.
Good night.
Good night.
Sleep tight. Where did Jay go, by the way?
Oh yeah.
See, Jay just leaves. He doesn't. He's not as polite as Wayne. I don't know. Oh man, that would be about it. Oh, he did. I think he left a message here.
Oh,
James, looks like the Falcon 9 launched has aborted.
Yeah, I was keeping half an eye on that.
Would they aborted the launch for some reason? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the computers aborted the launch in about 9 seconds before.
Yeah.
So he didn't actually start firing up.
Yeah, Ken says he picked up the Rebel Star Wars 72 scale Millennium Falcon, which is the same as the Fine Molds one. and the 72 scale Master Series model kit. Oh, well, that would be the Revel, yeah, Master Series.
The Master Series one is the same one you were doing.
Yes, it's the fine molds. Fine molds sold the molds to them. And what else is on here? Yeah, when you do the Millennium Falcon, you will take your time, especially if you're going to light it. And when I do videos, I'm going to do videos of this build, not the entire build, because it'll be monotonous to show you all the agreeableness about it. But certainly the lighting of it is going to be of interest, of how I approach this, because it took me a long time to figure this out too. Ken, Ken, are you going to be lighting it too? So that would be a good question to put back to you over there watching. All right, let's see. What do we have going on here? Right now, we going to do some screen share. Oh gosh, the Facebook community is just with a lot of cars here. Not a complaint, just an observation. Jim Payet had posted some cars. If I could get this to pop in and load. Of course, we are in the mode of building a few cars for our community builds. Share. Here it is. Stuff here.
Ah.
This is fun stuff here. This is really cool. They look like a nice matching set. His or hers. His and hers.
Yeah.
Hers is definitely the convertible. Yeah. I don't know. Beautiful women and convertibles are somewhat synonymous in my book. But yeah, that's one thing that's going on over there. And of course, I'm not sure why the Google Plus community is having trouble loading. Oh, here it is. From yesterday. And Craig also is a tank builder. Well, actually does a lot of armor. I don't know if he's exclusive like Wayne pretty much is. A tank build. He's also, I don't know if he's still working, building his models at his coffee table, but certainly does a good job even then. We're all fancy having workbenches.
Yeah.
He has a coffee.
Look at that.
That's lovely.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this is the interesting thing right here. It just looks like look at the detail of the paint on this.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look. And in my hands it will be off, but he did it just enough. He didn't overdo it. I would overdo it. Nice. Oh, he's even got some bullet holes, it looks like.
That's just holes poked through.
Yeah, I think that's a
piece of
canvas.
canvas
That's a canvas and
on.
cover on this edge. So it's probably the holes where the hog rings are for the strap.
I love that well kept but used look.
Yeah.
Really is nice.
Looks like he's actually using braided wire for this. Braided picture wire.
Yeah.
Who was it that was doing Oh, I can't remember, but somebody was doing a tank and they were showing me, and I now all of a sudden just popped in my head, and I can't remember exactly what I was seeing. I had to get an explanation. It was also had to do with the weathering. They took up close-up pictures. I'm like, what am I looking at here? But the weathering on this is equally the same as I saw on that other one. Absolutely beautiful. All right, let's see. Let's go back to Facebook. Y'all want to screen share? I don't blame you guys not screen sharing. It is a bit of a pain. Here's Ivan Vasquez, 1.6 model garage. He says there is months amount of work on this, and you car aficionados should know what this is. I like to pretend I'm one, so I'm not sure what this is I'm looking at. Maybe you guys can decipher it.
Oh. Is that Hudson?
Kind of looks that way, doesn't it?
I'm thinking it might be a Hudson.
She is pretty. I wonder if he's I haven't looked at these pictures yet, so this is the first time I'm seeing these.
Oh, real? It's a 49 Mercury. Okay.
Look at the.
He's got it in the
yeah.
title. He's got it in the title there.
Oh yeah.
Wonder if he's going to get into an interior here. Oh dear! Look how clean that is.
Yeah.
That's sitting in the showroom, then.
Yeah. Exactly. No, not seeing an interior.
But that perfect paint surface as well. I mean, there's no orange
you
build,
got a
no
beautiful paint job
there's-
on it.
lovely, deep, lustrous shine to it.
Yeah, I can't zoom in on this one, but yeah, it certainly does have that shine, and it does have nice chrome on it as well. Gosh, that has to be maybe even clad.
So that's the parts are already plated.
If he's saying it took months, he probably stripped that plating.
Probably stripped and
Yeah.
Put his own on there.
Yeah.
Whew. Wow. Well, that's probably simply on the box. You're just doing special techniques on it. Okay. Okay. Cue up the next one. Yeah. Let's see. Anybody else saying anything?
Not the present yet.
Yep. All right. Yes. Who was this? This was you, Phil, who posted a picture of some builds that you have. Yeah, let's talk about you. Let's.
My shelf of stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, I like the panoramic style of this picture here. This very much a letterbox.
This is a shelf queen list.
There you go.
This is actually just up there in front of me.
This is in front of you.
Who does the Baran Energia kit?
You know, I can't remember. It was a really cheap kit. The decals are a bit poop. I can't remember, but it was to the same scale
kit?
as the shuttle. It was old. It's got to be. It was probably 17 years ago when I got it. So, and it was already sort of in someone's clearance at that stage. So, but yeah, it looks a lot better from a distance than it does close up. So,
that Saturn V is the one that you're working on, right?
Yeah, that's the one I took the pictures of. I've just got it stacked back up there at the moment.
The old Airfix 144.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you look closely, there's the slave is there from Star Wars.
There's the slave one. That's the original. Was it the MPC kit? Yeah, and that Imperial shuttle. That's the original kit from the time as well. And also the X-wing. And that A-wing there, just below that, is the Airfix Snapfix one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Airfix had the license from MPC for a while, didn't they?
Yeah, it came in a box set with a TIE Interceptor, a small X-wing, and the B-wing, which I'm currently working on as well, trying to make it right.
There's a lot of fun stuff in there. Snow speeder right here, I recognize.
Yeah, that's the little Rebel one. That was
something right here.
Oh, right. Okay, that's from the Star Trek Starships thing. If you look to just below the Imperial shuttle, there's another one, which was the Borg ship from.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Voyager.
It was actually the one where Hugh. It was like the breakaway Borg. And Law had sort of taken over him. And I say that's this Star Trek Starships part works. So I've got some of those there. And obviously plenty of dust. That if you notice behind there, there's also a Stegosaurus as well.
Stegosaurus covering all your bases.
Oh yeah. you know,
and I think the reason why there's just so many different things on that shelf is that the wallpaper is quite inspiring.
Yeah, at some point I probably will need to redecorate, but guess what this room used to be?
Wow. You know what? It's already a model room and it's lived in. Leave it go. I think if you just post a picture of like a poster behind it that fits it over it, then that's that would help. But if you're thinking of taking everything out and painting, no. Save yourself the trouble. Save yourself the trouble.
Yeah, I do need a whole new set of shelves. These are all Boeing now. They've all got a bit of a sag to them.
Oh,
so they are hooked. They are hooked onto things so that they won't suddenly give way. They just sort of.
They just got a bit of sag.
Yeah, they're looking a bit limp.
There was. This is not of our community, however, this build that I'm going to bring up, but Dirk did post this, And as soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. And this is a diorama, I believe, of forced perspective. I saw it, I knew
Was that
which
the Harriers?
movie this was.
Yeah.
Oh, true that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Love that movie.
True Lies, yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's and I'm thinking the forced perspective would be the two different size jets.
Yeah. And the very small truck bridge
And
further away.
Yep. So that was a good share, Dirk. He says he doesn't know where that's from.
I like the water effects as well on that.
Oh yeah, in fact, the water in the Keys looks just like that too. It's actually kind of eerie how well he did it. Whoever had done it. Okay. Oh, Brian Marshall. Let's see if I can get this to load. I mean, there are all kinds of kits out there. I just can't believe the variety there is. Let's see if this is going to pop in. Yep.
Oh yeah, his
Stormtrooper.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of short for a stormtrooper, aren't you?
Well, you got some
That's why.
short stormtroopers.
You know what? If the stormtroopers looked like this in Star Wars, nothing would have gotten done.
Yeah,
I think the rebels would have been missing.
Yeah, that would be a few stormtroopers.
A few defections in both directions.
I think he was saying that he's got from the same artist that designed that one. He's got a female Darth Vader coming.
Oh no! I don't see that because that's something that can't be unseen. I mean, hey, come on. I mean, oh, please. I don't want to sound like I'm sexist or anything. Most certainly not. But you don't see any male. I don't know. That wouldn't make any sense anyway. The first thought I had was Amelia Earhart as a man, and I don't know why I thought that. What was the kind of strangest immediate gut reaction thought? Yeah.
It's the sort of thing you think of when you're trying to distract yourself.
Or either that, or if you've spent the whole day sniffing glue, you know?
yeah.
Oddly enough.
Yeah, in her case.
Not only seeing things, but I'm thinking things too. Okay, there's only one picture of that, so I'm not going to share only one picture. I can't share one pictures. It's really, now that we're talking about stormtroopers that are shapely like that. Let's see what else I can come up with, because there's oh my gosh, this Facebook thread is actually very, very, very long. So we haven't shared much of your stuff lately. Max Welliver, let's share this Messerschmitt. The BF 109G, I think it is. There we go.
Ah.
Oh, that's the FX one, isn't it?
Oh yes, the V72 scale.
Mm.
G10.
That's the G6.
06.
Mm.
Oops.
He's done that one in the tropical scheme, desert scheme.
Wow, those panel lines and the weathering and the. This looks like it's like in a museum.
Hmm.
I sure hope you didn't hear that. My mic is actually really good. I'm just hovering over it. Now I don't want to shut the door because it'll get too hot in here. Yeah, there you go. Really? Oh, geez. There's a lot of cursing going on downstairs. Ooh, look at that.
Mm.
Yeah, I did one of those myself. I kind of went a bit to town on it and corrected it, and
Yeah, that would be.
Us just can't leave things alone, can we?
yeah.
Looking at the fabric weave, you can certainly tell that that was a 72 scale build. And Rob, Rob, he's done a couple of these builds. I don't know if it's the same build, but somehow I get this feeling that this is something that he's done on numerous occasions, or at least there's been a couple or three modelers that have the same kit, and they're doing it in their own paint schemes and whatnot. But this is certainly really cool for the custom build for the community.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think those are bike wheels up the front.
Doesn't it? Yeah, doesn't it? It looks like way. Yeah. Yeah, this is really fun stuff. I tried build something similar to this, and it was a relative failure. I just got impatient with it because I just want to say that I did it, and it was a kit that I bought to do a Mad Max build. Well, never made it, so I built it out of the box, and it turned out okay, I guess, for having it thrown together. Because I was just wanting to get started on the Millennium Falcon build. Trying to put my. Oh, look at this! Oh, yep. He got wired up too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yep. Ignition harness.
Yeah. Got it all wired up too. Very cool, Rob. Really cool. And let's see. What is the folks talking about over there? Let's see. They're talking about Margaret Thatcher. Oh my God! Why? Margaret Thatcher on a cold day. Well, that's not a good vision there, George. I mean, come on.
I think it might have been from my comment about when your comment about Amelia Earhart as a man, and my comment about visualizing that to distract yourself from something, and I think they're running with that.
Yeah.
I see.
Save yourself, don't read. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. I just looked at myself. The mental images. Oh dear.
Has to get the female thing out of your head, Jack.
God. No, you guys are like driving me nuts. I should stop looking at that chat. It's like walking into a middle of a conversation, and it's like, whoop, a little awkward.
You want to just back away from that one?
Seriously, but I do want to bring this up as we close the show. Please, if you want one of these, please email me at scratchandjackmodels gmail.com and get your shop card. And also, hopefully over the summer, I'm going to get the shop cards printed for the community builds too, just as a show of appreciation. But that's going. I'm going to ask you guys if you want one of those, that will send me about 3 or 4 pictures of your favorite build in that realm of the community builds. I will be asking about that probably in August. I'm just going to give you a heads up. So keep building those community builds. You'll have a shop card with submission of your pictures, and that way we can put together a slideshow of it. And I'd like to commemorate these builds because you guys are so talented. I think, you know, thing that's indelible on the internet that shows everything all in one video, and maybe we can put out maybe 2, 3, 4 10-minute videos of these builds. But certainly I'll work on that. And the reason I'm bringing this up, today is the last day of the season for the Hangouts. And I'm going on a summer hiatus, as I do every year. And this is going to start back up again on a Saturday, August 26th. That will be across the pond. And of course, on the 27th of August will be the Sunday Hangout for the new season. During the summer, Liam he is one of the moderators over at the Facebook community, said he wants to do more of the Hangouts. If you tuned in a couple of months ago for the introduction to the Star Wars build, he had done that, and I have to admit, he did a fine job, and he wants to do more Hangouts. And he's going to do a few over the summer. And in fact, he's going to have even though we had across the pond yesterday, he is wanting to do one coming up this Saturday on July 8th. And he will put the announcement out there. It will be at the same time. That would be 8 a.m. my Eastern time, and I think that's 1 p.m. His time in the UK. Would that be right there, Randall?
That's correct, yeah. We're 5 hours ahead of you in that respect, yeah. So
4 or 5 hours or something like that. Yeah, so and he even thinks that he'll be able to do it regularly in the new season. I think somebody to do the European version should be somebody from that side of the pond, and that's just my feeling. I think he adds something different and a little more to the Hangouts than I do. So you won't have to look at my mug all the time. And that frees me up to do other things because I'm trying to gather my thoughts about the communities, about the Hangouts, trying to enhance them, make them more fun. I've got a few ideas. It's just a matter of execution. And if you have any ideas, certainly I'm all ears. You can email me. You can message me. I will be around during the summer. I am not going anywhere. I'm just taking a break from the Hangouts. I do know next year that we're going to have a couple, at least 3 community builds, 2 of which already been spoken for. I think to appease the sci-fi guys, we're going to do real space, do a NASA build. Anything NASA or the European space program or the Japanese, or even SpaceX. I mean, that's just real space, that will be called. That will be a build. And also a balsa build I'm thinking of from the original source of modeling. The material modeling would have been balsa or wood. That would be something we're thinking of doing in a naval build. There's a lot of you out there that do a lot of armor. Hey, how about including the Navy, something that floats, or maybe not even Navy, maybe like the Coast Guard, like
or freighter or something commercial.
Yeah, that would be actually
marine, whatever.
Yeah, that would be actually cool. Yeah, that would be just about right there, Mister.
Yeah.
That'll give Kurt a chance to build his ocean liners.
You got to build a few more containers if that's the container freight.
That looks like a tanker.
It's a container
ship. Oh, it's a tanker?
It's a container ship.
Container
Container
ship.
ship.
The container
Yeah, I
ship.
don't see the rigging on it, but there's some of the rigging there. Some of the rigging there.
Or as Ken did, he wants to do one of those victory ships with all the rope rigging.
Hey, Jack, I've just had an idea. What about a Balsa Falcon 9 landed
Okay.
on the floating platform? Wouldn't that cover all three?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly would. It certainly would. I mean, there's Dave Lazenby, who did the Hazard County, kind of did all, except the Star Wars part of it. He did Stunt and Speed and a custom because of the General Lee. And also, I'd like to, continue with the polls. If you have any ideas for polls, I'm all ears. It would be a lot of fun to discuss during the Hangouts too. So things that I'd like you all to consider and getting some feedback on. I'm glad they stopped talking about Margaret Thatcher.
Is it safe to go back there?
No, it didn't go back there. I'm glad they stopped talking about it, about her. Anyway, but those are the kinds of things that I'm looking forward to in the new season. I had a lot of fun, I have to admit. I have a few rough spots, as anybody would, but certainly as a whole, had a really good time. And having started in the Facebook community and as an accident / lark, one afternoon when I was not even at home, I was home, not at work. And I thought, I certainly have my opinions about Facebook. Those that are close to me know exactly how I feel about them. But for a G-rated show, we're not going to talk about that. But certainly, you guys over at the Facebook community have proven me wrong, and I like that because you guys are very talented and very prolific in your posting of your model kits. Happy that started. So I'd like to thank all the members for a phenomenal season, and next season promises to be about the same. And I'd like to thank all my usual suspects, unseen and unheard for a couple of years now. Hopefully you all okay, or whatever life has brought you, and also the current ones. Like Jay, who stopped by today. Thank you, Jay. And same with Wayne, who stopped by too. And Heath couldn't make it. Heath got to be a bit of a celebrity on the Hangouts. And I know why. He's just a charming guy. He's a lot of fun to be around and talk to. And also, I'd like to thank Jim for stopping by too.
Well, you're welcome.
And we're going to see a lot from you. More paper.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a forest in the world that's safe from you. I haven't seen you in a while, Dave. I'm glad you're doing well, and thank you for stopping by and showing a few builds, and particularly that C. That Enterprise C looks awesome. And Phil, a newbie to the crowd. This is probably your third or fourth Hangout. You just, with the rest of us nerds. How does it feel?
Yeah, weird. In a good way.
Weird. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I expected. That's how Mark feels sometimes. And Randall, you know what? Keep those puns coming and killing me softly.
I'll try.
And let's see, one last Gearhead Workshop. My season never stops. He's addicted. He's laughing out loud. Heath, Pat's Place wants Heath to run for president, and well, we couldn't do any worse. Actually, you'll be a step up a few notches from what we got going on right now. And leave Thatcher and Michelle Obama alone, kids. This is your host, and see you next season on the 26th, 27th of August. Happy modeling, everyone, and have a good summer.
Have a good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.